Thank you again. This is part two. I wanted to separate these videos to make it easier as I do segments. So this morning, I felt this wave of energy over my body, and the first thing it does, it's like a halo sort of energy around you, and it clears all the negative energy around in your space for a while. And it felt like someone was just holding this huge beach ball over my head in a way, right? And it just felt like a little bit of pressure. It wasn't negative. You can feel the energy as we felt the energy of Andromedans yesterday, okay? And we spoke to the Andromedan being. First, you feel the Andromedan energy, and then you realize this is Andromedan. Let me just recap here. And then you feel the name of the being that is speaking to you, and we know his name. Um, I can't recall now what that was, Marine or something like that. But we spoke to him, and he had this. He was just very happy in a way, and he said something like, humanity has done a master stroke, so to speak, to remove the darkness from Earth, and it was applauded. The Pleiadian energy was also felt, right? A little bit. So let me just go back to this, just recapping my previous video. If you like, you can go ahead and watch that first video. This second video was Sanat Kumara, and what I was just explaining was the energies, how you felt that space covering your field widely enough, and then the being introduced himself as Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara, if you do a quick search online, he's a higher dimensional being, and he's called the Ancient One. He's called the Ancient of Days. He goes by many names, and he is very, very, very old. Okay, so he says, release the wrong from old people. So what you're going to start doing is you're going to start peeling back these energies of the people that you've interacted with from the past, the old people. And that's going to start peeling away slowly. And as you peel away, then you become more of your light body, and you become more of your purest physical manifestations of what your soul is. And I guess what I can explain it is just being a seed. You plant a seed that turns into a tomato plant, but it never starts as a tomato plant from the seed. You wouldn't know what it is until you plant that seed. So as it grows and it matures and it gets information, the leaves start changing shape, right? It starts to actually make flowers, and then it makes fruit. So what you're doing is you're peeling away this information, you're peeling away all these people, all these scenarios in your life. And while you're still around that scenario, you're just a different person to them completely, because you have a realization that it's a different level of where you exist, even though you share the same physical presence and the same physical interaction that you had before. You're just at a different level, and that just it manifests itself quite interesting ways, right? It's like if you're eating ice cream, you feel a certain way. If you're watching a sad movie, you're sad. So let's not get off topic here too much. So the simple purpose of what he's saying here is that we need to hand off Earth to humanity so that they can grow on their own. Okay, humanity for millions and millions of years has known to be under rule and under control. So they're always expecting to have that next leader, that next person that's going to guide them outside of the scope of what they believe is suppression into an era of a golden era for Earth, right? And that's not a bad thing to think about it that way, but it's in humanity's consciousness, and it's in humanity's imprint of what they've been living through for all these millions of years, I want to call it that they feel that they need to have this sort of guidance, sort of like what the Andromedans had in my previous video as an example. It's a repetition of what we're doing today, so that's why they're hardly regarded as important beings that help out and things like that. So basically, once you clear these old energies, we can move forward, releasing energies of all old beliefs and patterns and stuck and things just start bubbling up, okay, for release. So that's something you said to yourself maybe once in a while, where I feel like I'm just growing out of this old shell that I don't need anymore, and I'm going to go into an even bigger shell, like a crab that just picks out its bigger shell once it outgrows an old one. You're moving into that new phase of your life. And this is great because humanity and every one of us are growing into this new phase. I feel it as well. Okay? So when you clear your, and this is the stuff that I wrote interpreting what Sanat Kumaras said. When you clean your energies, it will begin to reveal more about your purpose. Otherwise, you're bound by old stagnant energies. So a lot of these folks are bound by all these old standard energies that we have. So I'm going to record a third video for you guys today. You can enjoy, and it will be my last one, hopefully. I wish you the best, and I'll see you in a little bit.